Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show. Our pleasure to have guest host Damon Huard. I tell you what, winemaker, UW, you know, I know you're a parent of 3, you're busy, but I mean, media darling Brock, I don't know, man. I think you could do this every day.
Jack of all trades, master of none, Chris.
You could do this every day. All right, Damon, our pleasure to have a former teammate of ours joining us on the show right now. Brandon Bakke just wrote a new book called Lessons from the Bench. This is a great book to get into. Brandon played college basketball, Fresno State, just returned from a big book tour in California. Brandon, first off, it's like 1991 all over again, buddy. Looking good.
The 3 of us in the same room, like, amazing. What an honor. Thank you guys so much. It's like bringing back some old times right here. Meridian Greens, Damon, I don't know if you remember our you've come a long way with that 14 handicap you were sharing.
It's more 16, but yes.
Hey, Brandon, let's start with the book. It's out. You can buy it now. Tell us a little bit about this book. This is, if you love sports, this is a great book. Tell us about it a little bit.
Well, not a surprise, but as you guys were going through the top 5 Puyallup athletes, I am not on that list. And I would actually, but I would actually argue that most of us are not the stars. We're not the first team All-American, you know, the ones who are getting the interviews and all the attention. Most of us in life and are on teams are bench players. And that certainly was my experience as a Fresno State basketball player. I came off the bench, and a few years ago, I was, sorry for that alarm, I'm actually the assistant principal at Gig Harbor High School. It's lunchtime.
Go Tides.
Go Tides. We were, a few years ago, I was the principal at Fife High School, and a parent was really frustrated with his son's playing time, complaining about it to me. And at one point in the conversation, he says, you know, if my son's not playing a lot, I don't even know why he matters. Why is he even on this team? And I just remember thinking, are you saying that I didn't matter? Because that was my role for much of my time at Fresno State. And I just realized that there's a real crisis on our hands with people who just can't quite understand the importance of putting the team above ourselves. And I just hope that I could do something to help.
Brandon, don't sell yourself short as an athlete. We remember when you moved to Puyallup from Colorado, the nickname came fast, Colorado Springs, because he could actually throw it down with 2 hands. I was just kind of had the one-legged jump, one-hand dunk. But you actually were a great athlete, and obviously playing Division I college basketball at Fresno State is a big deal. But much like you, I too spent a lot of time, especially in the National Football League, on the bench. But I think ultimately, I guess the big question is what, you know, you talked a little bit about these kids, but what also inspired you to write this book?
Well, for me, when you're on a team, our ultimate goal really should be, how am I helping the team win? And I think sometimes as bench players, as role players, supporting cast, whatever you want to call them, sometimes we don't quite know how we're helping our team be successful. And I know, Damon, it's interesting, you were one of the top recruited quarterbacks in the nation, and yet you too ended up on the bench. And I think it's not as easy to understand how you can help teams be successful in that role. So I wanted to write a book that would not only maybe inspire people with some great stories, my journey on the bench, but also guys like you, Damon, and you, Chris, but other people that I've come in contact with that could provide some tools on how you can impact team success in that role, that important role as a bench player.
And Brandon, we just saw the picture of you, you know, in the huddle with Tarkanian. He took over at Fresno State, and there's some really good chapters about your role as a basketball player there. Just share, if you can, a quick story that you learned from that man right there, Coach Tarkanian.
When I was graduating, I got named the head coach at the largest high school in California. I'm 22 years old. I'm scared out of my mind. Coach Tarkanian says, Brandon, I always want you to remember, focus on what your players are more than what they're not. And I think that's such an important lesson, especially for bench guys and coaches. You know, the coaching the bench is one of the harder parts of the job. It's a science and an art. And I think when you can shift to try to find those important things that we all have, those traits, those skills, then really empower those athletes and those team members to shine, to bring those traits to the forefront. I think that's something I wouldn't have expected from Coach Tarkanian. I had all these perceptions of what he was like, and I just couldn't believe how much he valued guys like me.
One of your good buddies and fellow Fresno State Bulldogs, Trent Dilfer, you had the chance to kind of watch him up close? You know, what was special about his relationship with Matt Hasselbeck that you talk about in this book, Brandon?
Yeah, Damon, I kind of redefine success a little bit in the book. I think that success, there's many ways to achieve it, but one of them is to win at relationships. Like, why do we even play sports? Why are we even on teams? To me, if you can still be in relationships 30 years later, then you have become a successful team. I think the three of us being in the same room right now really says a lot about our 1991 Puyallup team, that we're still in relationship 30 years later. Trent and Matt were competitors. They were fighting for the same job. And yet they somehow forged a relationship. When Trent's son, Trevin, passed away, their relationship really shifted from being competitors to being brothers. And watching Matt help Trent through that really taught a lot to me about ways that bench guys can really help teams find that success as a team.
All right. Here it is right here, everybody. Once again, lessons from the bench. Some great, I believe the forward is done by media darling himself, Brock Huard. But Brandon, just for all the parents watching this right now, for the athletes, the coaches out there, why in your mind is this book important for everybody to read?
Yeah, I think in parenting these days, especially, it's a natural instinct to, when your students are facing a challenge, when your kids are facing a challenge, that we try to remove the challenge rather than helping them overcome it. I call it the mountain. Like, our job as parents should be to help our kids learn to climb the mountain. Don't remove the mountain. And athletics and the bench is like a training ground for adversity, where we can fail and not find success right away, and it's okay. It's not life and death. But so many times as parents, I've been guilty of it myself. We remove that challenge rather than teaching our kids to climb it. This book, I hope, will give parents a lot of ideas and how they can help their kids climb. Okay, my final statement or question, whatever it will be. I think 1991 we win the state title if you guys just get the ball to me more. Damon, you couldn't get past Mark Pope. Let's bring back, there we are right there. I mean, look, Damon was more worried about flexing his muscles. So was Brandon. I'm wearing the T-shirt. I didn't want to show off my muscles. I just wanted to be a team player and get out there and help the team win. You guys just didn't even pass me the ball. You looked my way, and then you passed to each other. I just had to get that out.
Egan, you were the glue guy, though, man. Let's be honest. We had this transfer from Colorado here, and and really, I was a football player playing basketball. But we were West Central District champions.
Yes, we were
that year,
right.
which I think the Vikings did again this last season for the first time since then. So yeah, lots of cool memories, glory days, a lot of fun with these three guys, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Brandon. 30 years later, here we all still are as friends, and that's what it's all about, these relationships.
And there's the book right there. Brandon, love it, buddy. Thank you so for your time. Go out there. Where can people find the book real quick, Brandon? Any bookseller, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find it all over the place. Appreciate it. All right.